what kind of adaptations he decide, but well, it kind of comes down to what sort of characters we see picked here. As of right now, we're seeing student versus, well, not quite the master, but the inspiration.
Yeah. Yeah, we are going to be seeing that Sakura versus Ryu come out here as we head into game number 1. Donut Lord versus MisterScoot in losers semifinals here. So let's see what we got. The Masters, sorry, 2 of the very many Shotos in this game.
Absolutely.
Right now, Scoot right out of the gate, big life lead, hitting those hits, getting those small little combos, but every hit matters in a game like this. We're not talking modern Street Fighter 6 where you're looking at 13, 14 hit combos into your super. You need to take those 2 hits where you can, and you are going to enjoy them.
Absolutely. Oh, whistle, but doesn't end up killing on the punish. Palm, run up, crouching light punch.
Yep.
No need to overthink it.
Huge life lead, take a trade there. It's still absolutely worth it.
Definitely. The fact that you're able to pay out the super, maybe potentially missed input, is in a good spot here for MisterScoot. Stay nice and patient with the corner pressure. Good jump out there.
Going for that crouching heavy punch to try and get some combos with it. Nice Shoryu to stuff the jump-in approach, and now you're looking at that neutral once again, ready with the Shoryu on those jump-in attempts. And this is kind of where you got to be a little bit worried on the side of Donut Lord, because my jump-ins are getting stuffed, and I always have to deal with that fireball on the ground. This ain't Street Fighter 6. I don't have drive parry to keep walking forward with. What's my option? And yeah, you can see Donut Lord right there, I think, tried to go for the level 3 super for Sakura, the level 3 fireball, didn't get the input, and eats the fireball for a game number 1 over to Scoot.
Absolutely. Definitely what Donut Lord was going for, but it is funny to look at and see the super fireball coming out and be like, I'm challenging this with heavy Hadoken, which obviously not being done. Oh, and with that Donut Lord busting out the guy. Oh, and we're jumping over. Okay, we got some different changes here.
Yeah, so Guy's big trait has been able to osmosis is the fact that he is just really fast. He has super fast dash-ins, a super quick jump in too. It can sometimes be hard to react to that jump in with a Shoryu, which you're just seeing the rush in right now. Donut Lord is just overwhelming Scoot, and this character swap immediately working out with a very quick round number 1.
Absolutely. Not want to play those things, going for these different angles, which makes sense, especially given the fact that MisterScoot was doing a great job anti-airing last game. So if we're just missing the air trajectory that we have been, that's going to be getting some dividends here. Ooh, but some good patience and defense coming out here from MisterScoot so far. Kind of finding out the timing so far.
Yeah, you got around to adapt and look at the speed of those buttons, of those arcs, and now we're starting to play a bit more patient. Throws the fireball, does get stuffed on the jump back, but does manage to prevent himself from eating a notably bigger hit combo there. So staying relatively safe. Nice punish on that with a sweep. But you're stuck in the corner here looking for those challenges to try and get himself out of the corner. Not going for any risky jump-ins. Goes for the fireball, but the custom combo, not going to properly hit. Still manages to get hits off of the whiff of that Tatsu. But you've got to be careful. Nice anti-air. You're so close to death on both sides. That fireball is going to be it. Yes, because the second fireball will catch the wake up. Take the round. Scoot will even it up as we go into round number 3.
Absolutely. And it's definitely dangerous throwing out the super, I think it's level 1 super. Oh, but only small punish. That super fireball, because Guy's jump speed makes it a lot easier to make that punish over the fireball. Something unlike we're seeing Chun-Li in the winners finals there. Not quite able to cover quite as much range here.
Yeah, we're looking at a life lead right now for Donut Lord. He's managing to use the spaces. Nice. The jump in, and then the overhead strike. That'll be game number 2 over the Donut Lord, evening it up in this best of 5 here in pot 4.
It's some great adaptations we saw from changing to the guy, but I also want to call the adaptations we were seeing from MisterScoot, especially in that middle down in that game here. Hey, let's do a little tour of the roster. Let's do a little tour of the roster here.
Yeah, we're seeing a swap over to Sodom. I don't know how to pronounce that, but either way. Yeah, we are seeing the swap over, and yeah, that's a big body you're looking at. We'll see what the swap ends up doing, but the key thing to note is the fact that Sodom does have notably a bit longer overall reach than Ryu. While he may lose a fireball, that might be what he's going for here. Yeah, the longer overall reach might be what you want to see. The stuff on the super does a worthwhile trade in that situation, but you're eating a life loss here that you don't know. I don't know if you can overcome. Nice Tatsu to cover the jump in. One hit from death here. Nice jump back, avoids, but so close to dying. Just needs to look for that hit, and there's the crouching punch from Donut Lord, taking round number 1.
Absolutely. But I can still stand by what we were saying with the switch, or why we're doing that, because the fireball, because the guy's jump speed and just range is getting jumped over a lot better. So if you can have these more long range, try to check those buttons, stay a little more on the range too. Ooh, he's going to be punished there. So Donut Lord very content to, oh, it stuffs the super.
Yeah, and say to cases like that, if you're the person stuffing the super, you will take a trade because of the damage you would get otherwise from eating the full super is not worth it. And yeah, right now, Donut Lord in control. The swap made some sense on paper, but it's not really working out for Scoot. And that is game number 2 over to Donut Lord. And now you got to be wondering, if you're Scoot, do you go back to Ryu? Do you try the Rose? What's the plan here?
It's a fair point. Very different kind of styles. I could see maybe where Guy could go ahead and have the Rose. And whether going back to Ryu. I like this pick. I think there's just like more patience, you know, maybe throw a couple less fireballs or like try to see how Donut Lord's going to be reacting to jumping the fireballs. There's been a lot of success from the air to airs from MisterScoot so far, right? The jump backs, getting some good mileage there.
Yeah. So you can throw a few fireballs, but you got to just like train yourself. You know, he's going to be going in the air. He's going to be making use of that good airspeed. I've got to be trying to anti-air it. I've got to be trying to, you know, get the punish on it when necessary. We're seeing the life bar be a lead right now for Donut Lord, but it's not a super big lead. Right now, Scoot is managing to keep the spacing in such a way that he is getting those hits in to even it up where he needs to. Overhead is blocked with that good low hit. Fireball's going to get jumped over, but ooh, the throw back into the corner. Duck underneath the Tatsu. And there is going to be the anti-air super. Does not get the full hit. We're not going to be seeing a round number 1 done just yet, but then the elbow strike just keeping the spacing right to punish those attempts at aerials from Scoot.
Definitely these. Well, especially when you have a super like that, it makes them the jumping in so tough here for MisterScoot, who jumps aside.
Yeah, once again, going for the fireball, gets jumped over, does have a life lead, but cannot be making mistakes like that with a character that has such good mobility in the air. Your fireballs will get stuffed so often. Now we're seeing
Custom combo.
We're seeing Scoot getting those hits in every time Donut Lord comes in, tries to go for a few hits. Tatsu stuffs the jump back. The overhead is hit, but doesn't go for any sort of combo. And that is going to be it. Donut Lord just getting the hits in where necessary. The swap over to Guy after the first game, working out wonders for Donut Lord. A 3-1 over MisterScoot, and we'll move on to Losers Finals.
Absolutely.